I'd like to read a section now from John Madson, the Running Country chapter. Madson was a really well-known writer about the Tallgrass Prairie, one of the people who really drew attention to it as an ecosystem, and as the introduction to him says, a founder of the prairie restoration movement. You might be able to hear the cicadas starting up. By summer there were, this is on page 192. By summer there were myriads of blossoms, all holding their own with the lofty grasses. Wild indigo with its heavy creamy bloom stood tall. White larkspur stood above many grasses. So did ox-eye daisy, many sunflowers, goldenrod, and compass plant, the set of its oak-like leaves marking the prairie meridian. Lead plant with its silver-gray leaves and purplish flowers was everywhere on the upland prairie. From August on through autumn, wild asters bloomed white, lavender, and purple. Deep in the ripening grasses, almost hidden, were the fringed gentians and bottle gentians. This was the season when the prairie flamed with blazing star or gay feather, a tall purple spike of blooms whose root bulbs were fed to Indian ponies to increase speed and endurance. Some of the finest floral displays were on low ground hidden around the prairie marshes. Pioneers recall 4 types of wild orchids there. The smallest and possibly the rarest was yellow. There was a white orchid with purple mottling, and a larger yellow orchid, the largest and finest of the wild orchids in Iowa, grew 2 feet high far back in the marshes. On each stalk there were 2 or more white and purple blooms with subdued mottling and floral pouches big enough to hide a hummingbird. The prevailing color of prairie flowers were white, purple, and yellow, although some phloxes came in tints of red, and there were red lilies and the orange-red butterfly weed with its masses of tiny hourglass-shaped flowers. The first of the year's prairie flowers were the smallest and most delicate. As the seasons went on, flowers became taller, gaudier, and stronger stemmed to compete with the rising tide of grasses that deepened and coarsened with the summer.